You're watching another Supercharged Masterclass with Jordan Samuel Fleming. Your opportunity to learn the ins and outs of Podio design and development from one of the top Podio partners in the world.
Hey everybody, it's Jordan Fleming here with another Supercharged Masterclass. Now, today I'm going to walk you through something that I use all the time in systems in Podio. It takes no time at all to set up and can be really helpful as a kind of guide for new users, but also for normal users, particularly if calculations get a bit slow inside of Podio, which we all know they sometimes do. And this is how to create a breadcrumb in the comments of a Podio item when you have used Citrix PWA to create a new item. So the scenario is I'm on an item and I click a button, a category field button, to create an item in another app, and I want to immediately create a breadcrumb on the comments line with a link that takes me straight to that new item I've created. Really useful, particularly if you're using a markdown table in the item to show sub kind of menu items and calculations are slow, right? In which case you have to wait until they resolve potentially to see the item and click on it. This way you can have a nice little breadcrumb and it literally takes seconds to put together. Let's dive into Podio and take a look, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here we are in Podio. Now, to do this, what I'm essentially wanting to do is I'm wanting to click a button in one app, create an item in another app, and then go back to that first item, the item where I click the button, and put a little breadcrumb in the comment with a link to that item that I've created. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to go into my first app and I'm going to take a look, and okay, I've got a nice little simple app here. I'm going to add a little button. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and drag a category field, and I'm going to call this actions, create company. I'm going to say that's my action. That's the action I want to do, right? So I've now got this nice little button. Hey, are you using Podio to manage your real estate investment business? Wait! Click the link to find out why thousands of real estate investment professionals are using Podio plus smartphone to make more calls, send more text, and close more deals. Click the link. In Citrix PWA, I'm going to go and I'm going to refresh the screen, the workspace links, because of course I've added another button, I've added another category field, and otherwise it won't show up. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, go to my contacts, and I'm going to create a brand new flow. And this will be an item updated flow. So this is when the item is updated, I want to run this flow given specific conditions. So I'm going to say on update, create company, and drop breadcrumb in comments, right? So this is the flow that I'm going to make. Now, what am I going to do? How am I going to build this? So first step is to build the create item. And it's going to be when that single field gets pressed and the create company option gets in. So I'm going to say, okay, when actions has changed, so when that field changes, and when field value, that field, and when the actions field is equal to create company. Now, there are times when you'll see me build flows where I'm using the if statements only inside the actions for nested if statements. But in this case, it's such a simple flow, I'm just going to use the filters here. So what this does is it says, okay, when the item is updated, if the action field has just changed, and if that action field now is create company, i.e. I've pressed that value, I'm going to run this flow. I'm going to do a very quick create item, and I'm going to do it inside of the, I think I called it companies, company, app. I'm going to make it a hook event, and I'm going to go, okay, there's only a couple fields here, so let's say the field name is, I'll drop in my name, the company, whatever, right? It's just a demo. And is there another one? And the owner is the current item that I'm on. So it's a relationship field back to the contacts app, and I'm going to say, and make sure that owner is the item that I'm on. And that's a critical point in some ways to building some of these flows where you're creating an item and linking it back. So what I've done here is I've created a company. I've created an item in the company app. I have put a relationship field in that app that links back to the app I'm on when I'm pressing the button, and I'm saying that I'm going to drop the same item I'm in into the owner app. So that's that bit done. Now, how do I go ahead and do the company? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click Add Comment. And I'm going to say new item has been created. And I'm going to put a square bracket. So the stars are to make it bold, just so you know. The square bracket, a new item has been created. Close square brackets. Open parenthesis this time. And this time I'm going to click HTTPS podio.com/x/y/item/ Now, as you may have seen in other videos, that formula, https://podio.com/x/y/item/ is the way you can dynamically create a URL to an item without needing to worry about the workspace or the app names or anything. This formula will just take you to the item in question. But the missing element is, what is that item ID? And if I look over here, I should have created company Podio Item ID. So I've done an action in this flow, which is creating an item. And in my token drop down here, one of the options is created company Podio Item ID. And you know that the Podio Item ID is the thing we append to that URL to take us straight there. That's how this works. So I'm going to drop that in as a token, and I'm going to close the parenthesis. Now, why do I have the square brackets and then the parentheses? Well, that is the code that is used. That is the scripting language that is used for this sort of markdown to allow you to put a link against a bit of text. So the square bracket is the text, and the parenthesis is the link that text is going to link to. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close the stars there. So what I've done is two actions. I've created a company, brilliant. And in that new company, I've linked it back to the item I'm on. And I'm going to drop this comment. Now, the final thing I'm just going to do, which I always do, is I'm going to update the item. This is a really good thing for you to always remember. And I'm going to unset the action button, because I don't want to have that action that I've pressed stay there. I want it to work like a button where I press it, it does something, and then disappears again. It gets removed. So by unsetting that actions, whenever I have an actions category field button, I almost always unset it at the very end. So it feels like I've pressed it, something happens, and I pressed the button and it's gone away again. I can press it again, or I can press another button. So save that. Now let's go ahead and run this flow. So I'm going to hop over to Podio. In this contacts app, I've only got one record right now in my demo system, Jordan Fleming. I've got this lovely create company, and I'm going to click the button. So a couple things have happened here. Number one, you'll see I got a referenced from. So i.e. this record was referenced from Jordan Fleming's company, which is the related item. Exactly what we wanted to do in that flow. But two other things have happened. Number one, a new item has been created. You see how it is there, and it is a URL. It is a hyperlink bit of text. That is the breadcrumb that we have created. And that means that regardless of how slow a calculation field is or anything else to resolve, I have a little bit of a breadcrumb of this. And I sometimes use this to say, like, Jordan, this user has created this at this time. Here's the link to it. And it just gives a really nice breadcrumb. Plus, it's a very fast action usually. So even if the calculation field isn't resolving, you can use it right away. And you'll also notice that the create company was unpressed, was unset, because we want it to work like a button, right? So just to make sure, if I click this link, it should take me to the Jordan Fleming's company, which it did, and there's the relationship field back. So really simple little thing to do in your Podio design, but where you have something where you are creating items, particularly using a calculation field like that, having that crumb trail really makes sure that even if the calculations aren't resolving quickly, so if you have a markdown table showing a list of things, it doesn't matter because you'll have done it. The action will have been created instantaneously. And that little bit of a comment saying, oh, and you can click here to go directly to what you've just created. It's much faster, and those tend to be much more reliable than calculation fields. And anytime you're kind of, you're clicking a button to create somewhere else, having that breadcrumb will help everyone know exactly what's going on. So hope you found benefit from this Supercharged Masterclass. As always, please do comment and on YouTube or on the website. Let me know if you agree, disagree, or what you want me to do masterclasses on. Please do, if you're over on YouTube, click the subscribe button to make sure you're notified when our next videos are uploaded. And of course, check out the Podio podcast Supercharged by myself on all your podcast platforms. Give it a like, give it a review, share it, spread the love of Podio. And as always, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching this Supercharged Masterclass with Jordan Samuel Fleming, CEO of Smartphone. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to be notified of new podcast episodes, Podio Masterclasses, and in-depth Podio extension reviews.